Hello YouTube, I'm going to walk you through the making of this jewelry holder for my wife's Christmas present. It's made out of 3/4 inch plywood, some paint, some brass hooks, and let's get started. I'm attaching my 7 1/4 inch circular saw to the Kreg Rip Cut jig. I'm using my circular saw to roughly size this 3/4 inch oak plywood. I'm doing this because I only have a job site table saw and I'm working alone. It would be very difficult and unsafe to cut this plywood by myself. Now I'm taking the rough cut plywood and sizing it down to the sizes I need. I'm also cutting the strips of plywood that I will glue together into smaller pieces for easier gluing. Here I'm sizing the larger backboard piece on the table saw. I had to ask for help to hold the outfeed side of the cut. A quick sanding and then gluing of the pieces. I'm laying 3 pieces of 3/4 inch plywood that I will later cut into the strips. I'll use these strips to create the dividing pieces. After clamping, I let the glue dry for 24 hours. A quick sanding of the backboard. Making sure that the surface is clean. I applied 2 coats of Seafoam blue paint to both the backboard and the boards that I will cut the strips from. The backboard was cut large, and I will later trim it after attaching the dividing strips. I did it this way so that I don't need to be exact when painting, as I want the sides of the plywood to be exposed wood with no paint. I am also painting the glued boards before I rip the dividing strips out of them, for the same reason. I am now ripping the dividing strips. I am starting by cutting a straight edge on one side. I'm setting the fence to 25 millimeters, just over 1 inch. Notice that I am ripping with the paint side up. This is so that any tear out from the blade on the bottom doesn't damage the paint. I'm using my miter jig and the table saw to create the miter cuts and cross cuts of the dividing strips. I did not cut all the strips at first. I would measure and then cut most pieces as I went. I'm laying out and attaching the 4 outer strips. I'm not aligning the dividing strips right on the edge of the backing board. I will later trim up the backboard with my router using a flush trimming bit. That's it for part 1. I have finished attaching the 4 outer perimeter dividing strips. In the next video, I will lay out and fasten all the inner strips. Thank you for watching.